So I know that you are selling products online and you want to A/B test your sales page to see which one brings in the most revenue for your business. Now you might think that's easy, but if we actually look on my screen here, using WooFunnels to go and build our sales funnels, it actually allows us to A/B test our sales pages there. But if we look at the stats that we're getting during this A/B test, you can see that I have 2 conversions here, but it actually hasn't tracked the revenue. That's because when you set up an A/B test for a sales page inside of WooFunnels, a conversion is actually deemed as your user clicking from your sales page to the next step in your funnel. So in my example here, it's people clicking from my sales page to my checkout page. That would be a conversion. Now, if somebody goes through the checkout page and purchases, it doesn't actually show us how much revenue we got from that person. So this is the problem that we have when we set up sales page A/B tests inside of WooFunnels, is we can't track which sales page is making us the most revenue. So how would we go and set that up? So we would go and do something like this. So this on my screen here is what I'm going to show you how to set up in this tutorial. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to eventually end up with 2 different sales pages, 2 different checkout pages. And when somebody clicks from sales page 1, they will go to checkout page 1. When somebody clicks from sales page 2, they'll click through to checkout page 2. And then using some simple maths, we can work out the conversion rate for each, and we can work out which sales page is bringing in the most revenue on that checkout page. But there's one caveat to this method that you need to understand, and I'm going to show you what that problem is later on in this video, and then a solution to this, because at the end of the day, you might not actually want to go ahead and use WooFunnels to A/B test your sales pages because of this one specific problem. So the first thing that we need to do is set up our sales funnel. So to do that, we're going to go under WooFunnels and then funnels, and then I'm going to click add new, and we're going to call this sales page watches, and we'll click add, and then we're going to import an entire sales funnel using the Elementor page builder. If you're using Beaver Builder, you'd select other, and you can also use Gutenberg and so on, but we'll stick to Elementor for this, and we're going to import, let's have a look at this one here. So you can see it has 4 steps that we're going to import. If I click preview, this is going to be our sales page. So it's going to come and look like that. This is going to be our checkout form. So it's going to look like this. This is going to be our one-click upsells template like that. And then this is going to be our thank you page. So I'll go ahead and click import. Now let's work top to bottom and just customize this a little bit. So we're going to edit the landing page here. So the first sales page, and I'm going to go up here and rename this, and I'm going to call this sales page. And this is going to be V1 for version 1, and we'll click update, and then I'll edit this template. Now I'm going to pause the video and just quickly customize this page a little bit. So I'll come back in a second. So I've just gone ahead and customized this page a little bit to be about our watch. So this is going to be version 1. I'm not going to go through the content just yet because it's going to be more appropriate a little bit later on in this video, but this is going to be V1. So now let's go back, and then here, let's go ahead and add our actual products and our order bump and our upsells and downsells so that we can track revenue later on in this tutorial. So let's go into our checkout, and then I'm going to click on products, and then I'll click add product, and I'm going to search for the watch. So there it is, and we'll go and click add product, and then I'm just going to save that, and then let's go back. Now that error message is gone, so now we need to add an order bump. So we'll click add order bump, and I'm going to call this sunglasses, and we'll click add, and then I'll click to edit, and then here I'm going to add a product. I'm going to type sunglasses in, and there it is, and we'll click add product, and then we're just going to save that, and then under design, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm pretty happy with that for this demonstration. So let's go back. Now that error message is gone, so now we just need to add our upsells and downsells. So I'll click into here, and then here I'm just going to rename this, and this is going to be a bundle, and this is going to be for a cap and belt, and I'll just rename that and click update offer. And then here we're going to add a product, and this is going to be for our bundle, and it's going to be for this cap plus belt bundle product, and then we're going to click save. So now that's done. So now what we're going to do is this bundle here for the cap and the belt, if they say no to this bundle, we're going to break each of these products out to their own separate downsells. So if they say no to the cap and belt bundle, then we're going to say how about just the cap, and then we'll say how about just the belt. So to do that, we're going to click add new offer, and we're going to do cap, and this is going to be a downsell, and we'll click add, and then we'll add our product, and this is going to be the cap. So there's our cap, and we'll click add, and then we'll turn that on, and we'll click save, and then we'll add another offer, and this is going to be for the belt, and this is going to be a downsell, and we'll click add, and then I'm going to add product, and we're going to do the belt. So there it is there, and then we'll click add, and then we'll turn that on, and we'll click save. And then just for the cap here, if they say yes or no to this cap, we still want to direct them to the belt no matter what they choose. So here to do that, if we scroll down, dynamic offer path, we're going to turn both of these on and we're going to redirect to the belt no matter if they accept or reject this offer. So we'll click save changes. Now that's all done. So I know that we went through that quite fast, but if you want to learn more about why I structure my upsells and downsells like this, I made a video here. It was 2 videos ago, but I'll link it in the description below. It's this video here about one-click upsells and downsells. So I show you how to set up the bundle products inside WooFunnels and then why I do that, and then how to go and set up the upsells and downsells and all about that. So I definitely recommend going and watching that video next. Again, I'll link that in the description below, but we're not going to go through that just here because I did explain it in that previous video. So let's go back, and now we have no more error messages. So this funnel is built. So now let's go ahead and set up our A/B test for this sales page. So to do that using WooFunnels, we can go to experiments, and then I'm going to click add new, and then it's going to be a sales page, and we'll click save and continue. And then here we're going to do our sales page version 1, and this is going to be sales page watches like that. And we'll click create experiment. And now that says it's been created. And then here it is. So we're actually going to duplicate this original variant, and we're going to configure traffic, and we'll make it equal weight, and we'll click update. And then we'll edit this one here, and I'm going to go up and rename this, and we're going to call this V2 like that. And we'll click update, and then we're going to edit this template. And then I'm just going to pause the video and customize this a little bit more. So I've just gone ahead and customized this page. So this is going to be our version 2. And again, I'm going to explain why I've added this content a little bit later on in this video. But for now, we're just going to click update and then go back, and then we'll go back. So here we go. So we've got V1, V2. So this is all ready to go. So we can click start and then start now. And now that's all running. So if we get the URL for V1 here, so this one here, and then we'll open this in a new incognito browser, and then we'll press enter. So you can see that we loaded V1 in this A/B test. So if we go back to our dashboard, and then we go to WooFunnels and experiments, and then our sales page watches, if we go to analytics, and we scroll down, we can see that it says 1 conversion, and our conversion rate is 100%. So we need to understand that when you set up an A/B test inside of WooFunnels and a lot of other sales funnel plugins, and you're A/B testing the sales page, they deem a conversion not as somebody that purchases your product, but as them clicking through to the next step in your sales funnel. So in our case here, we're clicking from a sales page to a checkout form. So when people do that, that is a conversion, and your conversion rate is your click-through rate, of people going from your sales page to your checkout page. Now, as people selling products online, this is a little bit of a problem for us, because do we really care about the click-through rate from the sales page to the checkout form? Or do we more so just want to know which sales page brings us the most profit, the most revenue? So to make this a bit more evident, we're going to go back and review the sales pages and the designs that I set up. So if we go back to our experiments and we click into our sales pages watches experiment, and I'm just going to open up sales page V1 and V2, and I'm going to split the screen. So I've just gone ahead and done that. So V1 is on the left and V2 is on the right. So if we have a look at V1, I'm saying that this watch here is 50% off today. And I give a little bit more details about the watch. I have a coupon code here, some testimonials, and it could say, 9 reasons to get this watch. And it could be, that it's comfortable, yada, yada, yada. So it's more about the watch. And that's basically all they get. It's a deal, and this is the watch and some of its features. If we scroll up a little bit more, notice how I haven't said the price of the watch here. So for people to actually get the price of the watch, they would need to click this button to go to the order form. And that's very important. We're going to come back to that in a second. Now, V2 on the right-hand side, it's sort of similar where I say this is the watch, but if we go down, we have a celebrity endorsement. If we go down, there's a video. We have a little bit of text here that explains the collection of the watches. We explain the design process. Down here, we talk about the brand, the legacy, the heritage that it's, let's just say that's been around for 100 years. So if we compare the 2 reasons why people might visit V1 and click to go to the order form versus V2 where people click to go to the order form, V1, people might be clicking to go to the order form just to see what the price is. Whereas V2, we give them the price right away, and then we also explain more about the brand, and we give them this idea that they're buying into something that's a legitimate brand that has the heritage, especially that people that are buying watches look for. So people that are clicking to go from here to the order form, they're not clicking to go get the price, and they're probably more invested in the brand because they understand that it has that, 100-year-old legacy. So this click-through rate would probably show as being a lot higher than this one over here. But which one do you think is going to result in more profit for the business? And this is why you can't just go on click-through rate alone. So let's go back to this in a new incognito. Let's go ahead and we're going to try and load V1, and then the A/B test is going to run. And now we're shown V1. We can tell by the URL. And then I'll click to go from the sales page to the checkout form. And then let's go back here. So this has 1 and then 2. So we'll refresh. Now that's 2 and 3. So again, it tracked that conversion. Now here, I'm just going to put in my details like that, and we'll go down. And then I'm just going to put in some test details into Stripe like that. And then we'll click place order. And then from here, our upsell page is going to load for the bundle. And I am going to accept this bundle. So it's updating our order. Congratulations, your order has been added. And then we're on the thank you page. Now, if we go back to experiments, so you can see that even though that A/B test ran for this sales page and we went through and completed a purchase, it didn't update our revenue per visit or our revenue here. So that doesn't happen in WooFunnels. So just to confirm that this isn't broken here and that this is actually expected behavior, let's go ahead and we'll go to experiments, and then I'll click add new. And here we're going to do for a checkout page, save and continue. And then here we're going to do our checkout page watches, and we'll click create experiment. And then we'll duplicate this one here, configure traffic. We'll make them both 50% update. So that's done. And then we're just going to edit this one here. And I'm just going to remove this template. So we're just going to go up here and go remove template and remove. And then we're just going to select another one. So let's do this design here. So we'll go import. And now that's done. And I'll preview that just so you can see what this looks like. And this is going to be our V2. So let's go back and then back. And now we have this all set up. So let's start our experiment, and we'll click start now. Let's go ahead and load our sales page. So V1, we get V1. We'll click to go from our sales page to our order form, and that's loaded. And I can tell by the URL checkout-watches, that is this one here. So if we view this, you can see the URL checkout-watches up there. So if we refresh this, you can see that this goes from 0 views to 1 view. So we're actively here on this checkout. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to fill in this form quickly like that. And then we'll go down. We'll put in our test Stripe details like that. And we'll click place order. And then I'll say yes to this upsell. And now we're on the thank you. So if we go back here and we refresh this page here, you can see that we have one conversion. The watch costs $5,000. So that's in there. Our conversion rate is updated. And again, we can go and look at this a different view if we want. We can go to experiments and then check out watches. We can just click on analytics and we'll get the same view as we had previously in this tutorial. So there it is. One view, one conversion, revenue per visit, conversion rate. So this is working, but it just doesn't track the revenue per visit or the overall revenue when you set up an A/B test for the sales page. Again, it's only tracking the click-through rate to the next step in the sales funnel. So now that we understand that this is expected behavior and that this isn't broken, now I want to show you how to go out and set up an A/B test for your sales page so that you can track the click-through rate as well as the overall revenue so that you can understand which sales page is making your business more profit. So to do that, it's very simple. So if we go back, we're going to go under funnels and then our sales page watches. So let's actually first disable these A/B tests. So I'll open this up and I'm just going to delete them, make it easy, and delete that one as well. Cool, that's done. And I'll just refresh and then A/B test running. So now they're gone away. And next we duplicate this checkout step. So we'll go here and we'll go duplicate, and there it is down there. Now I'm going to give these names. So I'm going to edit the first one and I'm going to go up here and rename this. It's going to be checkout watches checkout watches V1 like that. And we'll update that and click update, and then we'll go back. And then this one here. So the second one, we'll edit this and we'll go up here and we'll go edit, and we're going to call this V2 like that. We'll rename and click update, and then let's go back. So we have one sales page. We have two checkout steps. So the next thing that we need to do is go to experiments, and we're going to click add new. It's going to be for the sales page, and we'll click save and continue. And this is going to be for our V1 is going to be the original, and we're going to call this sales page watches, and then we'll click create experiment. There it is. So we're just going to duplicate that one there and configure traffic and make equal weight like that and click update. Okay, so that's all done. Now I'm going to edit this second one here. So I'm going to go up here and click edit, and we're going to rename this and call it V2. V2 like that, and we'll click update. And then we're going to edit this design. And I've just added the design for the V2 again. Again, this is the one with the celebrity endorsement, the branding, talking about the history, the legacy of the brand, and so on. So that's all done. So I've just saved that. So now we'll go back and we'll go back. So now we have our 2 sales pages. So next, what we want to do before we start this test is we're going to link the buttons on sales page V1 to checkout V1, and then we'll link the buttons on the sales page V2 to the checkout V2. So to do that, let's go ahead and open up our funnels. So we'll go back here, and then back here under experiments, we're going to edit our sales page watches experiment. And then for V1, I'm just going to go ahead and edit this, and I'm going to edit the design, and then I'm going to edit this button here, and I'm going to hard code the URL to link like that. So checkout watches 1, and we'll click update. And now sales page V1 links to checkout V1, and then we'll just do it for sales page V2. So back here in our sales funnel, we'll get the URL for the checkout V2. So I'll just open this up. So here it is, checkout watches V2. So I'll just copy that. And then back here under our A/B test, sales page V2, I'll just edit this, and I'm going to edit the design. And now the buttons here, I'm going to edit. I'm going to hard code this to link to checkout V2. So now I'll click update, and now that's done. So if we go back to our experiment, we can click start and then start now. So now that this is all set up, we can see that it's running. Let's go ahead and trigger our A/B test for the sales page. Then we're going to go through the checkout. We're going to do some test purchases. And as we go through this process, I'll be showing you the analytics and how it updates, and how what we've just set up in this tutorial gives us more data, probably the data that you want as somebody selling stuff online. So to do that, let's go ahead and trigger our sales page A/B test here. So we're going to go into an incognito browser. Again, you always want to do your A/B test testing in a private browser so that there's no cookies stored. Otherwise, you're just going to get the same variant every time you load the page. So here we're going sales page V1, and we'll click enter, and that triggers variant 1. If we go back here and we click on analytics for our sales page A/B test, you can see we have one view, and if we go down, it's for the first variant. So that's what we expect. Now, if we go back under funnels and then go to our sales page funnel, you can see there's an A/B test running on this step. So we know that's happening. And there's our 2 checkout steps here. So if we go to analytics, you can see we have 1 visit. And if we scroll down, it's on the sales page V1. So everything's working as expected. So let's go back here, and we're going to click to go from sales page V1. And this button will go to checkout V1, as we can see from the URL. So there it is there. And then if we go back here and we refresh this funnel, so you can see overall for the sales funnel, we've had 1 person visit our sales funnel. We've had 1 contact saved in WooFunnels. We've had 1 order, $90 made in revenue from order bumps, $50 made from upsells, $5,145 overall for the sales funnel, average order value and revenue per visitor. All really helpful information. Now, if we go down, we can see sales page V1 had 1 visitor, and then that visitor clicked through to the checkout form. So this sales page is converting at 100%, because 100% of people that viewed the page clicked to go to the next step in the funnel, and that's what it deems as a conversion. So we can see the click-through rate, which is going to be this number over here. And then the checkout page, the checkout step here, we can see 1 person viewed it, 1 person purchased, they spent this much money. So 100% of people purchased when they viewed the checkout form. Now we can also see the order bumps. So 1 person saw the order bump, they took the order bump, so we made $90, and then the conversion rate there. So this is really helpful as a breakdown. This conversion rate column over here, it is only related to that step in the funnel. So this conversion rate is related to how many people see this sales page and then click through to the next step in the funnel, and that would be the click-through rate over here. The conversion rate here for a checkout step is how many people see the checkout form and purchase. So if 100 people saw our checkout form and 1 person bought, this number over here would say 1. So let's go ahead and do some more tests, and then we'll more investigate the numbers here as they change over time. So let's go back here. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to load sales page V1 again, and we got V1 again. So this goes from 1 visit, if we refresh, to 2 visits. And you can see our revenue per visitor has updated over there. And if we go down, so we loaded V1 again. So this has 2 views, but 1 conversion. So this has gone from 100% down to 50%. And notice how this number hasn't changed. It's still at 100% because only 1 person has seen this funnel step. So from here, we could click to go from the sales page to the checkout. So this is checkout checkout V1. So if we go back here and refresh, so now 2 people have seen this, 1 person has purchased. So now this is 50% here. But this has updated to 2 conversions because we clicked through. So now this is back to 100%. So it's really important to start understanding what these numbers mean and how they all change. So I hope this video is helping so far. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to purchase this. We're going to close it down, and then I'm going to load sales page V1 again. And that's redirected to sales page V2. So our A/B test is active. So if we go back here and refresh, you can see now it says 3 visitors. It's updated our revenue per visitor. If we go down, now we have 1 view on sales page V2. Let's go ahead and we're going to click. And now we've gone from sales page V2 to checkout page V2. And if we go back here and refresh, this goes 1 view, 1 conversion, 100%. And now we're on checkout page V2. Now I'm going to go ahead and complete this checkout form like that, and we'll go down and we'll just put our test details in again like that, and then we won't take the order bump, and then we'll click place order now, and then we'll say yes to this order bump, and then we'll say yes to this upsell, and there we are like that. So we spent $5,055. So let's go back here and refresh the page, and if we go down, we can see that we visited this page, we clicked through 100%, we landed on checkout V2, we purchased, we spent this much, and now it's 100% conversion rate. So now that we've done that, what I want to do is just load these sales pages a couple more times. We're not going to purchase, but we're going to get a couple more views showing in here in the reports. And then we're going to go through and work out some calculations to show you how to interpret this data. So I'm just going to load this URL here. So I get V2. I'm just going to keep reloading the A/B test and just continuously getting some visitors. V2, reload it again. V1, reload it again. V2, reload it again. V1, reload it again. V2. Okay, so let's close this. And I'm just going to go ahead and refresh the page. So you can see we have 5 visits. And if we go down, we have a little bit more information here. So how do we work out which sales page is causing people to convert the most on the checkout form? We just do a little bit of maths. So if 2 people visited sales page 1 and then 1 person purchased, 1 divided by 2 times 100, so 50% conversion rate for sales page 1. And if we go back here, sales page V2, 3% saw the page, and then 1 person purchased, 1 in every 3 people times 100, so 33% conversion rate. So it's just your number of purchases divided by how many people visited that sales page times 100 for a percentage, so 33%. So if we go back here, so now we know that sales page V1 converts at 50%, sales page V2 converts on the checkout page at 33%. We're getting a little bit more data here so we can start understanding which one's bringing in more revenue for our business. So that's our conversion rate there. So now we could work out which one's bringing in us the most revenue per visitor. So to do that, we could just get this. So 2 views up here and then 1 purchase for $5,000. We just do our revenue divided by 2 visitors. We know that the sales page to checkout form for V1 brings us in $2,500 per visitor. And then looking at sales page V2, we had 3 visitors and 1 purchase for this amount. We just get this amount divided by the 3 visitors. This is bringing in $1,600. So back here, we know that the revenue per visitor is higher currently for sales page V1. So piecing all of this back together is that we have our click-through rate over here, but again, that doesn't tell the whole story because that could be inflated if you do things like don't put the pricing on the sales page and people need to click from there to go to the checkout page to see the price of the product. This will be inflated, doesn't tell the whole side of the story. So by using what I've shown you in this tutorial, you can get a lot more information here and actually break it out and see which one's bringing in the most revenue per visitor and converting at a higher conversion rate. Now, another reason that I like breaking it out like this for my A/B test is that say V1 here where we talk about the brand, the legacy, we've been around for 100 years and so on, maybe the ability for us to explain more about our brand puts in the customer's mind, a better image for our brand. So when they reach the checkout page, they're more likely to take our upsells, our order bump, because they're more invested in our brand and they're willing to spend more money. So by doing it this way, we can see that explaining our brand here does in fact cause people to spend more money and say yes to our upsell more. And we can see using numbers how much more, a measurable amount, how much more that actually does cause them to say yes to this order bump. So now that we've gone gone through this, I want to explain one caveat, and this might be a very big problem to you. This might cause you not to implement what I've just shown you here. So if we actually have a look at our two sales pages, so I split screen here, V1, we just say, this is the watch, here it is, it's on sale. V2, here's a celebrity wearing our watch, we've been around for 100 years, invest in our brand, we have a legacy. If we go back here, we need to understand that sales page V2, where we introduce 100 years to our brand and we have a celebrity endorsement there, putting that information on V2 might not just cause the customer to go from V2 to check out V2 and, convert at a higher conversion rate, but showing that celebrity and showing that we're a real brand and 100 years old might cause this user to say yes to our upsells more often than sales page V1. And we don't actually get a breakdown of that. We can't see here at a glance how much of an effect introducing our celebrity and showing our brand heritage here, how much of an effect doing that here on our sales page has on their uptake rate for our upsells. And this is a big problem. And I feel like this is probably why I wouldn't go ahead and do this. And I don't know if WooFunnels has a way for them to do that in the future. I feel like it might be quite complex, but this is a big caveat. This is really what it comes down to. We are doing an A/B test here, and we just want to see how much of a difference running V2 here does on our bottom line, on our overall profitability. And we can't really see that there. We can see the checkout page here, but we don't see beyond that. And so coming back to this, how would you go and do that? The best way to do this is probably going to be using Google Optimize. It's free. The only downside to using Google Optimize is they don't have an integration with Google Analytics 4 at this current point in time, which is a bit annoying. So you're going to be having to use Universal Analytics, which is the older version of Google Analytics. But I mean, you're really going to get the entire picture if you do it that way. So for me personally, if I'm going out and I'm testing a sales funnel with, sales pages here with upsells and downsells, I would recommend probably using Google Optimize. Again, it is free. The only problem is you can't use Google Analytics 4. So you might need to swap back if you need to do that. But yeah, basically that's the tutorial today. What I would recommend doing now is going and watching this upsells video here where I explain the logic behind how I set up my upsells and downsells. And if you've already seen that video, I would go and watch this video here that shows you how to A/B test showing and hiding your order bump, because that could be affecting your conversion rate. But I go through that in more details there. So I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'll see you guys in those two videos.